All right, so last time we left off, uh, I got caught drinking a bottle of vodka in the closet, watching The Walking Dead on my phone. Aaron said, "That's it, you're done." So what she did was, Aaron, being the girl she is, fucking just called my parents, said, "I can't deal with them, you deal with them." Put my ass on a bus. Now, I don't know how many of you guys have taken a bus across the country before, but it's not a ton of fun, okay? And it's fine because I deserved it and everything. But the funny thing is, and like it just worked out this way. I don't think she meant to do this, but she packed my stuff up. She packed my phone, all this stuff, but she didn't pack anything to charge my phone, and she didn't I didn't have any way to charge it, and I didn't have any money, and I didn't have anything, and I didn't even bring a book. So basically, I spent 3 days on this smelly bus with like crazy people going from LA to North Carolina to Raleigh, and I didn't have anything to distract myself from, first of all, the fucking agony that I was going through from not drinking. I was fucking detoxing, on a bus. And second of all, I didn't really have any money for food or anything like that. I don't even know how I made. I had to be very careful with the money that I did have, because they're not. Like I said, these buses are not this is not a luxury cruise or anything that you're on. I mean, you're fucking on a bus, and it's like, we'll get you there, but it's not going to be fun. And so I spent that whole time fucking looking out a bus window and fucking soul searching and being like, what do I do with myself? And I got to North Carolina, and I really, I got off the bus, and my mom was pleasantly surprised because she thought I'd be a fucking horrible mess. And I wasn't great or anything, but I hadn't drunk anything for 3 days, and I was just basically I could have probably used a shower, but I was fine. I was like, "Hey Mom, I'm here." And North Carolina was interesting because North Carolina was, I had this upstairs room. And, Pickles has just walked in. Pickles, I don't have time right now, okay? Seriously. Look, everybody look and see Pickles. Pickles wants to say hi, but now, no, Pickles, I don't have time right now. So North Carolina was okay, but I was living with my parents, and here I am, I'm 30 something years old, and I'm living with my parents. And so my thing is that I started looking for jobs, and I just kept not getting any responses, and it was just bad. And so the other thing that I started to do, which was just as bad, was that two things I started to do at that point. I had a little bit of money. My mom would just give me money for some fucking reason. And I didn't have a car, but up the street from my parents' house was a grocery store. And they didn't sell liquor, but they sold wine. And so I went in there and I found the the cheapest, nastiest, most potent wine they had. It's called fortified wine. It was called Rose Chuck or something like that. I don't even remember what it was called. But I drank fucking gallons of this shit and hid it in my room and hid it from my parents. They said, if you drink, we're going to kick you out. And it was just I just fucking hid it from them. And I just drank all night. and like applied for jobs online. My mom said, well, you got to get out there and like walk into places and just do it and make phone calls and stuff like that. And it's like the boomer thing where they tell you that what you got to do, and it's, you know, it's bullshit. I mean, they just don't know any better. But the second thing that I also started doing that wasn't great was I started going on OK fucking Cupid, which I was in no position to like be involved in a relationship, but I was fucking lonely, you know? And like I wanted to like interact with people other than my mom and my stepdad. So I like went on OkCupid and started like chatting with people and talking to people, and I happened to meet somebody who was like pretty cool. And like we started kind of going out, and for some reason she was okay that I didn't have a car. And for some reason she was okay that I didn't have anything, and for some reason like she didn't know that I drank. I was an alcoholic either. But like I kind of kept it from her. Like I didn't drink around her, but I drank probably, you know, before I saw her and stuff like that. And like she was great. She was a little crazy, but like she was she was good. She kind of kept me from going crazy, insane. Like Pickles does. She was good. She kind of kept me from going crazy, insane, but like, and like she was hot and everything. She was like really hot too. That was like the weird thing. And she was really smart. She was a veterinarian. So like, and she like wanted to help me. So she like gave me money and stuff, right? And that wasn't good because I used it to buy alcohol when she wasn't around. And eventually like she bought me a car. Because she was like, you need to have a car. And I was like, I can't afford a car. I don't have a job. And she's like, well, I'll buy it for you. I know you will get it. And then I ended up, we went to, she took me to Chicago. She took me to Chicago. And we like had this great time in Chicago. And then she came back. And then there was this whole thing with this other guy. And then like I got caught drinking one night. And by my stepdad, he was like, you're out of here. I was like, fine, I don't care. And she actually helped me. I had actually at that point been able to figure out how to get a job, and I ended up getting this job at this all-black college in Raleigh. I don't even remember the name of the college, but like as their like the guy who kind of runs their media place. And this was a really cool job, but I was just a mess. And at that point, the girl broke up with me because I like was such a mess, and like so I was really depressed because she broke up with me, and I was just like, so then I was drinking at that job too, and it was like, you know, they really like they were so nice, they didn't even want me to quit, they just wanted me to stop drinking. And I was like, oh, I can't. And then on one day I just said, you know what, I can't do this anymore, and I quit. And then then I had a car, and I was living in a furnished room for like $200 a month. I had enough money to pay for the next couple of months, so then I just started drinking in that room. And the only good thing I did that whole time when I was drinking in that room was I watched Breaking Bad. I binge watched the entirety of Breaking Bad. I torrented it. And so, but I was in that room just fucking eating shit and drinking awful stuff, drinking Four Loko and crap like that, and like just at the end of my rope. And then I went back on OkCupid. Oh, and then I ended up being like, okay, then after that, I got so sick of it, I fucking ended up in the hospital again. I ended up going to this place, got in detox, and then I stayed for a couple of weeks at this place, and I ended up living in a halfway house for a while in Raleigh. And like, I got a job working at Staples. Or Office Depot, I think it was, not Staples. You know what, they're the same place. But I got this job, and they loved me at Staples. But the people in the halfway house didn't like me because I was the only white guy, and they kind of like decided, I got a little mouthy with like the guy who thought he ran the house, because I was like, what the fuck, man? I live here too, quit treating me like this. And he decided then that they were going to find any way possible to get me out of the house. Because when you're in one of these halfway houses, there's lots of rules. And so it ended up being like he found me a way to get me out of the house. So then I found another fucking furnished room. Got on fucking OkCupid again. Met this girl who lived up by the college in fucking Greensboro? Yeah, Greensboro, I think. Or, yeah. It was a place where Ender from Ender's Game grew up. For where I don't know why I know that. But like, and she was fucking hot too. She was the hippie girl that was like, she was the hula hoop dancer. And I liked her a lot. And I think she at some point saw through this and was like, this guy's nice and everything, but I can see he's fucking gonna explode. So she was like, yeah, I'm not really that into this. And I was like, okay. And so I was dumped again. And then I decided not to go in. And then I went into a depressive state. And I decided not to go into work at Office Depot. And then I was just fucking, this was like my lowest time when I was fucking laying in this furnished room in Raleigh, fucking on a, not even in a bed, on just a mat I made out of blankets on the floor, fucking shivering and crying because I didn't know where I was going to get rent the next month, and I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't know anything. And that, my friends, is where this shit takes you. All right? I had fucking burnt every bridge that I had. I had this stupid car that was like a piece of shit because I bought it, it was so cheap, and I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't hold a job. I couldn't do anything, and I was just a mess. And that was it. And I was at the end of everything. And this was probably one of my lowest points. So, what did I do? You're gonna guess, right? I'll tell you what I did. I talked to Erin again. I talked to Erin, and she said, okay, come back out to LA, and I'll take care of you. And I don't know why I deserved, at that point in my life, I should have just fucking died. I should have just fucking killed myself in that room. Because I had just been now drinking for like fucking years. And wasting my time and wasting the time of everybody who cared about me. And I was ashamed and I hated myself so much. I did not know what to do. But she said, come and I will take care of you. And you're going to help me build my business because you've got something to give. Because I know that you're a good graphic designer and I need a good graphic designer. And you're going to come and live with me and my cousin. She was the cousin at the time, I don't know why. In Orange County. And it's going to be okay. So, I sold the car. And, I sold the car, put all my shit in a box, and said, Mom, would you mail this to me? And I moved back out to California. And now, sorry this was a little long. Now we're getting to hopefully at least the end of this, because eventually of course get better, but it's not great yet, but just bear with me. Okay, we're almost done. All right, I'll see you in a few minutes.